Thank you to DraftKings. Please support them because they support us. A lot to talk about regarding the sport of MMA, and perhaps if you want to put down a wager or two. And so without further ado, let's say hello. GC, and at what point, GC, did you say to yourself, man, I had this job where like we would talk to Tim Kirkshin and I don't know, Tim Legler, game night.
Yeah. Tim Kirkshin on a good day for game night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, the amount that game night gets brought up on this show,
it's amazing.
It's all time. I mean, everyone at ESPN Radio loves it. All the promo for game night.
At what point in this particular episode are you saying to yourself, holy crap, what did I get myself into? At what point?
No, I mean, I loved it. Yeah, I mean, you summed it up perfectly when we were waiting for Mike to come back on. It's been an interesting day today, man.
Yeah, and I had a feeling, and not for any particular reason. I mean, I know Sean is a little bit different. I'm still. Can I ask? I mean, I'm still not sure what to make of that. What did you make of that Sean Strickland interview?
I mean, dude, he's an interesting guy. Like, kind of worrisome how much he said that he thinks about killing people. I guess it's good he stays out of the public domain as much as he does.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, going from him to Velasquez was like two opposite ends of the spectrum. I feel like they could hang out with each other and benefit.
That's a great point.
I mean,
that is an absolute great point. But even getting that from Kane, who, I mean, always, like I said, very reserved, stoic, didn't give you much. And now he's talking about psychedelics and love and all this stuff. And there's a couple of times there where I was like, man, I wish I had 30 more minutes to dig a little deeper there. And then you get Joanna, and she's telling you stuff and not telling you stuff. And then Mike, who was dramatic. You weren't here the first time Mike was on in this new era, but a dramatically different Mike Perry than the one we spoke to in late August. So, yeah.
I mean, how many questions did Mike answer directly?
I don't know.
He went off the rails a few times. The baby's crying in the back.
I mean, yes.
We should have had a lower third ready for the baby.
The baby, yeah. And even Rico was more talkative than normal. You have Ray Cooper, who's about to go to war, literally going to fight in 7 hours, also reserved and stoic. Virna Jandiroba dancing. By the way, you didn't think that she would do it.
All right,
she hasn't done it yet, but I mean,
I wasn't saying that. Like, she just the fit for Vina to go do it is going to be. I mean, if she does it, it's going to be all time. It's going to be hilarious.
Sean Brady actually tweeted me in the middle of the show, but I forgot about it because it's been such a crazy day. So let me just read this quick update from Sean Brady. Okay, so he tagged Andre Petrosky, and he said, what happens if Andre walks out to the song first? Technically, he can. I just looked up the fight order. Andre fights first. We've got a race here. Now, Sean is the one who's saying on behalf of his guy that he's going to walk out. We've yet to get confirmation from Petrosky, so we'll see. Virna seems to be out there saying, like, I'm in. But as I said, if both individuals walk out, they're both going on the wall. A deal's a deal.
You don't want to get caught. You don't want to get busted here. I feel like the more people that do it, the higher the chances that the UFC is like,
what's going on? You're right. Yeah, that's a good point. I thought what you were going to say was like, historically, I don't think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. At this point, how many UFCs? This is 267 plus the fight nights. I would venture to say there's been around like 500 or so, right? Maybe even a little bit more.
A lot.
Yeah.
There's been a lot, yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a card where two fighters walked out to the same song.
Yeah.
So that would be a red flag in its own right.
It's going to spring some questions up. And I mean, what if Dan Hooker ends up doing it too?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got three guys.
What if Glover does it? You know?
The almost 42-year-old walking out to that. I mean, Virna with the remix had the beat underneath it.
I feel like she's taking this the most seriously. I mean, she's putting it out there. She's dancing to it. I've gotten confirmation from her manager. So let's see. One of the many things to look forward to this weekend, of course, a lot of big fights. The floor is yours, my friend. What do we got? And perhaps even a little PFL tonight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can give out the PFL parlay. I already put it on Twitter, but I mean, we got fights starting in 20 minutes. So, I mean, if you don't have the bets in now, I mean,
can you do a bet? Can you do a bet 20 minutes out?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can place a bet while they're walking to the octagon.
That's true.
I mean, they don't take the lines down. For PFL, we don't have a graphic or anything. I'll just run through it. Don Maj took him on the money line at -550. Julia Budd -400. Omari Akhmedov -500. Kapaloza, Deleja Fight does not go the distance, -400. Harrison Guardado, under 2.5 at -390. 5 picks, pays out +178. A little something to get us to Saturday.
Okay, so no Ray Cooper.
Nah, no Ray Cooper, but if I was going to play that, I'd play the dog there. Same with, I think it's Chris Wade. I'd take the dog in that one.
And is Cooper the dog?
Cooper is the dog.
Okay. Yeah.
6 fights, $1 million on the line in each of them.
I know. It's fun. You know what? I've come around a little bit. I used to be very anti the format. I've come around. PFL has done a really nice job of finding their place in the sport, being different than the UFC, being different than Bellator. And one of the stories to watch as we head into the new year, one of the many stories to watch, in addition to the Kayla Harrison story, which I may have a little more on in the very near future, is their TV situation. Their ESPN deal is done as of tomorrow. I mean, it's the last fight. And I hear they've been talking to some interesting outlets. You know, the TV game has changed, right, with streaming and all this stuff. Yep. And so I'm really curious to see where they end up. Do they go back to ESPN? Do they end up on a streaming platform? One Championships deal with Turner is done. I think going on after AEW on Wednesday nights would be huge for an MMA promotion. You know, you've got the Peacock networks out there. You've got the Amazons out there. You've got the Hulus out there. You've got Plus, ESPN Plus, of course, out there. You've got Turner out there really getting into sports now with NHL and baseball doing great for them, TNT and TBS. So, yeah, that's one of the big stories to watch. But PFL has done some really nice things.
I saw what the CEO had to say during
oh, yeah, you saw that.
That was spicy, man.
Don Davis. So Don Davis is a very... he's a very colorful guy, an opinionated guy. And, you know, one thing that PFL has been missing is that face, is that voice. Dana White was huge for the UFC. You always need that promoter. Eddie Hearn in Matchroom, Bob Arum, Top Rank, Vince McMahon, WWE, Don King back in the day, Dana White. I feel like the best promotions, Coker's a different kind of cat, but he's still a face. They don't have that. They don't have that voice. Ray Sefo is a former fighter who's a current coach who just doesn't have that connection with the audience. If Don Davis could be that guy to poke the bear a little bit, to ruffle some feathers, but to also, you know, kind of puff his chest out and say, our fighters are the best and we treat our fighters, that's going to generate some buzz and some headlines. They've been missing that. So maybe Don Davis is that guy.
Yeah. I think the 4:30 on a Wednesday fight start time might hurt a little bit, but
definitely. I mean, if we're being honest, that's probably more of a ESPN call than a PFL call, right?
Classic.
No, it's not classic. But I mean, like, it's a very busy time, right? We got the NBA, we got the NHL now, we got college football
going on.
Well, no, but they don't have the rights. My point is, they're probably finding a slot and they're saying, hey, Wednesday's a quiet night, not a ton of competition, but like, you ain't doing it on college football Saturday, right?
Right.
You're not getting ESPN2 placement.
That's a good point.
I'm not trying to be a hater here. Why are you trying to pay me as a hater?
I wasn't saying you were a hater.
I'm trying to teach you about...
I was more so hating on ESPN.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I just read that one.
Burke Magnus. You know Burke Magnus.
Yeah.
That's my boy. Not really, but we never really spoke. But in any event. All right, so that's PFL. Yeah. What else we got?
UFC 267,
That's right.
Finally, we get a pay-per-view. It's been, well, technically it's not a pay-per-view, but
yeah,
we get a number card. Yep, numbered card. Been 5 weeks, I think, 4 weeks since 266. I mean, it's a fantastic card. It's unbelievably deep. Multiple fights could be the main event in a fight night or something like that. You got 4 undefeated fighters, 6 with 1 loss. I mean, that's a third of the card right there. Mm-hmm. You know, a couple Polish fighters for the champ, a lot of Russians, Dagestani. So yeah, man, it's gonna be an awesome fight card. Starts at 10:30 in the morning too.
How do you feel about the early start?
I love it. I will be up and at 'em, ready to go on Saturday morning. I'm a big fan of it. So I got 5 singles for you, and then 3 parlays.
Oh,
we'll run through the singles and then we'll run through the parlays real quick.
All right.
We'll start it off early prelims, lightweights. Damir Ismagulov. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take him by decision at even money over Magomed Mustafayev. Mm-hmm. Damir, he's the former M1 lightweight champ. He's won 18 straight fights dating back to 2015. Started out 4-0 in the UFC against pretty good competition. Joel Alvarez, he's won 3 straight since. Thiago Moises. Moises is 4-2 in his last 6. Mm-hmm. And those 2 losses have come to Islam Makhachev and Damir. Makhachev beats Moises. He gets put in the top 5 of lightweight. Damir beats him. We get crickets, but, that is what it is. Damir, he shook off some rust in his last time out against Rafael Alves in May. It was his first fight since 2019. This will be Mustafayev's first fight since pre-COVID. I'm not really sure how much that matters, though, because he's, like, oddly inactive. He only's got 5 fights since 2015, but it could come back to bite him. The worry here is the knockout power from Mustafayev. Powerful striker, spinning kicks like we saw against Rafael Fiziev. He's got the knees. He could certainly end this one early. That's my biggest concern. But I think Demir's the more technically sound striker. He's got the 2-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage. He's patient, effective wrestling and grappling. He's never been taken down in the UFC. If Mustafayev does try to go that route, like we saw him do against Brad Riddell, he got 8 takedowns in this one. I just don't see him being able to do that here. Demir's won 6 of his last 7 by decision. Mustafayev, solid chin. He's never been KO'd. So I think this one does go to the card, and I think Demir is going to be the one getting his hand raised, so I'll take it at even money.
All right.
I will keep
By
it
the way,
moving.
all lines provided by
Are from our friends
Yes.
over at DraftKings. Some of these have moved.
There it is. I mean, that's supposed to be your line, if I'm being honest, but
I know. Thanks for reminding
no,
me.
I'm always happy to help. Listen.
Of course. Kind of a tough name card.
Well, yeah.
Tough to get them out here.
Well, a lot of these guys, it's easier for them to fight in Abu Dhabi than it is to come to the United States, so they get this opportunity. But again, as I said at the beginning of the week, in the past they've had these Abu Dhabi cards before the whole Fight Island thing, where it's like one good fight at the very top, and then the rest is a little comme ci comme ça. Can't say the same about this one. This is a solid fight card from top to bottom. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, Demir's 23-1 in his career. Been a champion in different promotions. It's a lot of really good fights on this one. Next up, though, we'll go to flyweight, stay in the prelims. Ricardo Hamos, we're going to take him as an underdog over Zabaira Tukugov. I see this one as closer to a coin flip than the odds have it, so I'm willing to lay the money with the dog in this one. I just think Hamos is more creative. I think he's the active fighter. Zabaira, he's never landed more than 40 strikes in a UFC fight, and 5 of his 7 fights have gone the distance. He just really doesn't do that much, and we've seen him gas late in fights. Last time out against Akeem Dawodu, we saw him visibly fatigued in that 3rd round. He threw 10 punches, then he's just desperately going for takedown after takedown, gets all 5 of them stuffed. We saw it again against Murphy, and that was a short notice fight for Murphy. He throws 8 punches in the 3rd round in that one. 4 takedown attempts, gets controlled almost the entire round, is forced into a draw because of that one since he can't win that last round. On the flip side, Hamos does appear to have pretty good cardio. He also has the danger of being able to get on the back, go for the sub. He can mix in the takedowns, try to outstrike him on the feet and try to get it to a decision. With Zabaira, he does have that knockout ability, and we have seen Hamos be a bit chinny. He's got 2 knockouts in the first round, losses on his record. And at the end of the day, I mean, neither of these guys are really world beaters, probably fairly close on the feet. Zabaira's the better wrestler. Hamos probably the better grappler. Really anything could happen. But, with it being such an, close fight the way I see it, but the odds are a little bit more lopsided, I'm willing to lay the money with Hamos. He's got that 4-inch reach advantage. And the longer the fight goes, I see it as an advantage for Hamos. So I'll take him at plus 150 here as a dog.
Okay, I like it.
This one's gonna hurt a little bit after how much we've praised him.
No, come on. Did you make this pick before you found out about her?
Well before. Yeah. The graphic's already been made.
But listen, you can adjust.
I've already taken the fight. I've already taken the bet.
And you can't cancel it?
I could cash it out, but I got Hibas at good money. I got her at minus 140. What is this? What's happening here? Uh-oh.
Something get unplugged in there? Hold on.
Well, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I think something got. All right. Here we go. Wait.
No, it's
Frank,
disconnected. There we go. It's back now.
I'm back.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened. I mean, this day has it all.
I mean, this state certainly has it all. But we're pushing through. We're pushing through it here. Yeah, man, I just think Hibas is the far superior striker in this one. I mean, if it stays on the feet, I think this is Hibas' fight. We saw Jandiroba get outstruck by Mackenzie Dern. Like, she was convincingly outstruck by Mackenzie Dern, who we saw Amanda Hibas absolutely dominate in the striking department. More than triple her significant strikes. She won an easy decision. I'm not doing the MMA math here, but it is a little bit.
You love the MMA math.
It's a little bit MMA
your
math
thing.
for you. I mean, he was going to have the edge in this fight however long it stays standing. Better technical striker, better defensively on the feet. But if it does go to the ground, I do think it's a much closer fight. But I'm not going to sleep on Hibas. She's got the high-level jiu-jitsu, BJJ black belt, and I just don't see her getting submitted. And, with the ground game being so close, but the wide divide on the feet and the odds being pretty close, I'm willing to lay the small price with Hibas at minus 140.
Damn, that's whack. That is whack. Well, listen, We will find out. Just like you don't bet against Fyodor in Russia.
Yeah. You don't bet against the Island Boys.
That's right.
Out.
That's right. We'll
What if she doesn't come out to it then?
Okay, then it will be prophetic on your part. It will be the right call. But as of right now, she seems very genuine about the whole thing, and so I'm taking her word for it.
All right. Well, I'll be going with Hebus here, so it's unfortunate. I actually, it did hurt me to go against her now, knowing that she's going to do the Island Boys. But we'll keep it rolling. Let's go to the co-main event. Pyotr Yan, Corey Sandhagen. I'm actually going to take this fight to go the distance. It's not something I typically do, but I'm going to take it to go all 25. I think this one is going to be sweaty. Hands are going to be clammy while you're watching it. I know Sandhagen, he's got the flying knees. He's got the wheel kicks. Yan can power up, late into the fight, go for the finish on the ground, whatever he's going to do. But I think both these guys have proven durability. Jan's never been finished before. Sandhagen, just that one time against Aljo, obviously the submission. I just don't think that's just not Jan's game. I don't think he's going to go for a submission here. It's just going to be such a high-level fight, dude. I really don't know who's going to win. Tactical fight with both these guys being so tough. The ironclad chins. I really do think it goes all 25. We saw Sandhagen do it against Dillashaw. Yan was likely headed that way if there wasn't the illegal knee against Aljo. So at essentially even money, I'll take it to go to the scorecards at -110.
All right.
See that?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
the individualized graphic.
You know what? I saw it from the corner of my eye because I'm focused on you here. Can I see that one more time?
Yeah, we've had one for every bet so far.
Look at that.
Just for you, man.
This is good. This is good. I mean, we're in the visual medium here. This is nice.
We're progressing with the graphics.
I like
also, the new lower third, we finally got the GC. We got the colored bird.
The colored bird meaning the blue?
Yeah,
the Tweety bird. Yeah, and you got the
really
GC.
can't tell,
You got the GC in the middle. We got the DraftKings logo. I mean, everything is just slowly but surely. This is starting to look like a real broadcast here.
Starting to, man. We're getting there.
I love it.
Especially after today.
yeah, exactly.
All
Imagine
right.
if I was doing this show at the former place.
Yeah, we would have been taken off the FCC would have been.
That's the beauty of this. You should be thanking us.
Yeah, I think Strickland probably would have gotten us all fired pretty quickly, to say the least.
Oh, God.
But all right, final single play. It's the main event, light heavyweight championship. I am going to take Jan Blachowicz inside the distance, even money over Glover Teixeira. I mean, it's an amazing story that Glover's had here to get this title shot. I mean, both these guys have great stories. There's some good storylines on this card, but imagine if Glover gets the belt. That would just be insane. Also, tomorrow's his birthday.
Oh.
Shout out to Glover Teixeira. Tomorrow's his birthday, but he is
42, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is turning 42. We haven't seen him fight in a year, which does mean something at this age. I know. Here I go again, doubting the elders of the game. Fyodor made me pay last week. Maybe Glover makes me pay this week. But I do believe Jan gets the win here, and I think it's by finish. It's incredible what Glover's been doing on this run up to a title challenge. These comebacks, we've seen him get dropped heavy, man. Carl Roberson looked like the fight was over. He comes in just hammering onto his head. Somehow Glover comes back. Cutelaba drops him with a huge spinning back fist. Anthony Smith delivering a lot of damage early. Thiago Santos also put him down early. But Glover comes back in every single one of those and gets the win in all of them. I mean, it really is incredible. But with that said, I think Jan has a little bit of a difference from those guys, and I think Jan knows that Glover has that comeback capability, and I just think there's a difference with the Polish power, man. He doesn't get punch happy. He's not going to get in a susceptible position if he does knock Glover down, which I think he's going to get the opportunity to. He doesn't let up until the fight's over, and the chances are there will be that opportunity for Jan to land the big blow. I mean, we've seen it in almost every single Glover fight. You're going to have a chance to land a big punch, to tag him at some point, and it's all just how you go about it from there. Sometimes, with these last fights, you see the guys get in trouble afterward. Plus, Jan, man, we talked about it off the air. He's just looked so impressive lately. The dominant win over Adesanya. He rips through Dominic Reyes and Corey Anderson, sleeps Luke Rockhold. I mean, he's looked every part of the champion so far. So Glover's got the advantage on the ground, but I'm not going to sleep on Jan either here. BJJ black belt, just like Hebus. We saw him in a beautiful grappling exchange get the triangle choke against Nikita Krylov. And a little bit of MMA math, and I know you hate to do it, but on the run up to the title, Glover, he got a very, very close split decision against Krylov. So just an interesting note there. So I think the Polish power, I think he turns off the light and still, and I'm going to take him at inside the distance at even odds.
All right.
So those are the 5 single plays there. We got the recap graphic.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. We're really coming up in the graphics department.
I love it. I love it. Okay, no sign of the wolf, no sign of Islam.
Well, we obviously got to talk about the parlays.
Yes.
I appreciate that segue
Yes.
there from you. You are a true pro in this broadcasting realm. We got 3 parlays. I'll just run through them real quick. They're all at a little bit shorter odds. Parlay number 1, it's going at plus 115. 3 legs to it. We'll start with Larone Murphy at minus 300 over Mr. Fenlon.
Yes, Makwan Amir Khani.
Khan.
That's right.
Amir Khani.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Fenlon, dude. He's 3-4 in the UFC since 2017. In those 7 fights, he has been outstruck in every single one of them. He is going to get outstruck in this one too. He will try to take this to the ground. He's going to go for the submission. I really only see that as his only option of getting the win here. And Miracle Murphy is no slouch on the ground. If it does go there, he went the decision with Zabira, who we talked about earlier, on short notice too, and he had almost 10 minutes of control time against him. So he's no slouch on the ground. I don't think he's going to get submitted. And if it does stay standing, Murphy's just going to piece him apart. He's going to mix in the kicks. He's got the tight, big shots. He's proven he's got that knockout power, and I think that's how this one ends. Or we get the unanimous decision for Murphy.
I like that fight. That's probably my under the radar fight for the early prelims.
Yeah, man. I mean, Larone Murphy's still undefeated.
Yes.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of
Crazy story. Shot in the face. That's why he's called Miracle Murphy. Luke
I
Barnett.
actually did not know that.
Oh, yeah. Shot in the face. Crazy story. I think he was outside like a barber shop or something.
Wow.
And
I
the
like him even more now.
bullet went through his cheek. Survived.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Shows the research I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Can't even find that out about him.
I mean, miracle.
All right, next leg on this one. Islam Makhachev.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking him at minus 550 over Dan Hooker. Line is on the move. It opened at minus 300 for Islam, but people are hammering him down to this one. I got so much respect for Dan after everything this last year. I mean, dude is a badass. He has the potential to become a legend if he can get the win here.
My God.
I mean, I can't even imagine if he pulls this off. I'll lose the parlay happily. It would be literally stuff of legend. He's also fought top tier talent all throughout his career. He looked great against Nasrat, but I just don't see it happening here for him. Makhachev, he's incredible defensively on the feet. I think he'll be able to avoid one of those big knees or monster shots from him, and I really think the only way Hooker wins is by KO. Obviously, the threat of being taken down is always going to be there with Islam, kind of similar to that Michael Chandler fight. I think it's going to deter Hooker a little bit. He's going to be a little bit more cautious. Islam can hold his own on the feet too, and eventually it will end up on the ground where you're going to be in his domain, you're going to be in his world, and it's just going to be dominance from there. So I'll take Makhachev in front of Hezbollah. In front of his man Hezbollah to get the win.
That's right.
Calling out Dan Hooker. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, yeah. But then Hooker came out today and said that he's got the other dude on his side. I think Ahmed.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
a war of attrition.
I don't know what the fascination is with those dudes, but hey, God bless.
God bless, man. Island Boys, Hezbollah.
That's right.
Get it all on here, man.
What a scene it's going to be.
Yeah, so we'll finish out this parlay number 1 with Jan on the money line for all the reasons that I just said.
Mm-hmm.
That one pays out at plus 115.
All right.
And we will move on to parlay number 2. This one, very similarly, pays out at plus 114. We'll start with Albert Duraev. I'm going to take him at minus 305 over Roman Kopylov. It's a striker in Kopylov versus a grappler in Duraev. Duraev will look to take this one to the ground quickly. We just saw him get a first-round submission on the Contender Series a couple weeks ago. He's got 9 of his 14 professional wins by submission. We haven't seen Kopylov in 2 years. The last time out, he did get submitted by Carl Roberson, who is not the greatest grappler on earth. A time off versus a very active submission specialist just doesn't set up well, and I think Duraev is going to get this to the ground and get the finish.
Okay.
All right, let's move to leg number 2. Tagir Ulanbekov over Alan Nascimento.
I like how you're challenging yourself with these names. I mean, you're not just going for the easy ones, the Dan Hookers of the world, the Corey Sandhagens. You're going for the, you're really digging down deep.
Yeah, I can't lie. When I reviewed all these picks, I have set myself up for failure.
I mean, you're doing well
with these names. But yeah, we get a Dagestani on the card, one of many. He's got a lot to prove in front of the family. Could be Hezbollah, like we mentioned earlier. And he gets Nascimento. He was on the Contender Series back in 2018. He lost in a split decision. He's only had one fight since in a small promotion, and now he's making the leap back to the UFC. And this one's going to be on short notice, and he's getting a very tough test in Tagir in this one. Similar to Duraev, Nascimento, he goes for submissions. 14 of his 18 wins are by sub. but he's getting this Dagestani in Tagir, man, who trains with the guys like Khabib, like Islam, like Usman. He's got great wrestling. He's got great grappling, has never been finished. So Nascimento could struggle to get the submission here, and I think that's the only way he's going to get the win. On the feet, Tagir has the advantage. He's the better boxer, kickboxer, counterpuncher. So I see Tagir outpointing him, using his grappling, using the defense to stay away from the sub, and he gets a decision win.
Okay.
Final leg on this parlay number 2. Leg number 3, we'll go with welterweight, Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
We got him at minus 440. He's moving, man. He opened at like minus 265. That one's on the move over Li Zhiliang.
The Leech.
Yeah, as much as I believe Khamzat wins here, there are definitely some current concerns. I would not be completely shocked if this is the one that killed us. I mean, the leap in level of competition, Lee's presence on the feet, the knockout power, and he puts you out. Like, this isn't TKO power. You know, Khamzat, he had that nasty bout with COVID, bleeding lungs during practice and everything. But I do think he's moved past that. He's the bigger fighter here. He's the longer fighter here. And I just believe he's the more skilled fighter overall. Similar to Makhachev, this one needs to end up on the ground for Chimaev. He'll use that arm trap, dominate him on the ground. Once it gets there, the ground and pound. I mean, obviously, the biggest worry for Khamzat is trying to stand and box with him. If he does get, you know, cocky, if he tries to test how good his stand-up game is, he does have the potential of getting KO'd. But I just don't see that happening here. So I'm going to have Khamzat moving to 10-0.
I'm a little surprised. I'm not by the pick, but the line is so big, just given all those health questions. I mean, the guy retired.
I agree, man.
He retired in the midst of all of this.
Yes.
And then everyone's like, nah, you're not retiring. But I mean, he's showing us pictures of blood in the sink that he coughed up. So that's one of the...
Yeah, right. Like, no, I agree with you, man. I actually almost left Khamzat off of it, which I'll probably kick myself if he does lose. But just the more and more I viewed it, I just feel like if he is who he was before all this, I think he gets the win. And I really do think Lee and Hooker are both going to come out a little timid, a little gun shy because of that immediate threat of being taken down. Just having to be careful. So I think that plays in their advantage.
All right, last one.
That's parlay number 2. Let's finish it off. This one's only 2 legs. It's going at minus 125. We'll go with light heavyweight Magomed Ankalaev over Volkan Ozdemir. I mean, you got to be wary of Volkan here. He can put anyone down at any time. He almost KO'd Jiri in the first round last time out. It's going to be a nice test for Ankalaev, but I do think the only way that Volkan gets the win here is by KO. I think Ankalaev is the real deal. I mean, if he doesn't get buzzer beater submitted by Paul Craig, I mean, still insane that he had to tap that out with 1 second left. I mean, we're talking about a 16-0 fighter with some really decent wins on his record. I just think he's the better striker. You know, he's got more diverse with his attacks. He's patient, better defensive striking. He can keep it at range with the kicks. Plus, he's got the wrestling and grappling advantage. I think he has the advantage in almost every facet of this fight. But Volkan, I mean, he's always dangerous for the KO. But regardless of that, I think he avoids it, so I'll take Ankalaev here.
Okay.
And to finish us off, final leg of the final parlay, we're going to go with heavyweight Alexander Volkov at minus 290 over Marcin Tybura. Tybura, he doesn't want to keep this fight standing. He'll likely get KO'd if that happens. Volkov, he's got the 4-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage, superior striker with major knockout power. And I really do think Tybura might have problems getting this one to the ground. I mean, it's not just because Volkov is as big as a tree. I mean, he's 6'7" in there, but he's also got pretty good takedown defense. His TDD numbers are a little bit skewed because he fought Curtis Blades, the best wrestler in the division by a mile, and he got taken down 14 times. If you take out that Blades fight, he hasn't been taken down in his last 5 fights. Last time out, he fought Ciro Gane, stuffed all 4 takedowns from Gane. And I mean, that's another thing about Volkov. If you look at his losses in the UFC, Ciro Gane, Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, I mean, you're talking about interim champ, title contender, title challengers, the best of the best, all top 5 guys in the division. So I do think Volkov can keep it standing and either get the KO or fight his way to a decision here over Tybura.
All right, that's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff, man. A lot to digest.
You are heavily invested, dare I say, in UFC 267.
We had to do it, man. We had to do it. We got the big card.
I shudder to think what 268 is going to bring to the table with you.
Who knows? I might release a cross 267, 268 parlay later this week.
Wow, really?
I mean, I've been eyeing it, man. I mean,
wow, that's crazy.
I'm not going to give away any hints here, but yeah.
I mean, and we got Bellator next week as well. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the Bellator, they just keep coming.
Yes, they keep coming. The 5th, the 12th. In any event, great stuff. Thank you very much, and good luck to you and everyone out there.